Hey, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a video of the paranormal things, the mediumship, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not into that, bye-bye. All right, anyway. The thing is that all that cleansing and everything that I just did at my dad's house, huge difference. Like, I'm finally feeling like what I grew up with was coming at me again for a long time now, like nonstop. And so what I'm realizing also, because me being a mediumship teacher and all that kind of stuff as well, not just mediumship, but like a whole bunch of other things too. Anyway, is that, and the reason why I'm saying that is just because everything goes together with what I teach. I do like energy healing, metaphysics, blah, blah, blah. It just all it just is what it is. Anyways, because I have all that in my courses and I'm trying to do. But anyway, back to the topic. Is that the reason why things have been getting so severe lately too, besides the fact of all these planet alignments and soon Mercury retrograde, which I'm already feeling some of the effects, because I'm just hyper, like when you're really in tune and things like that, this is just natural for us. And then a whole twin flame path and all kinds of stuff that I'm going through all at once. Like, this is just too much for just one person to handle. But like I explained to my brother, because he's big on ayahuasca and things like that, and I'm like, and it's so hilarious because he was never into any of this. Like, he was always the like my dad and everything, like the hard worker and this, that, and the other, and then he just totally does this flip. I'm the one that first got into spirituality and all of that. Like, I just didn't mention it. I've always been a medium. I've always, everything that I've done. And then it's just so funny how he just did a complete, switch and everything at his timing for his awakening and everything. Anyway, so he is so big about that. And like I told him, with me being a medium, I do light working. I'm on the twin flame path. I guess they call it dark working or something like that too, where it's like mediumship and all the stuff that I'm talking about that I do also. Anyways, so like I'm trying to explain to him is that what I do is it helps to, it's a very compassionate, loving thing as well. You would think it's not, but it's helping to cross over. It's helping to remove. It's helping to unstuck these sometimes evil beings that are stuck or wanting to cross back over or whatever it is that they're trying to do. And so I'm trying to explain to him that that's why everything had been getting so severe for me lately. And he's like, oh, what's going to do that? I'm like, no. I don't need that for me. But for me, what I do need is what I just did the other night. Is I did all from my childhood and everything, and lately, because of this twin flame path, it's been different eras, like from born to 10 years old, part 2. So it's been like from born to 2 years old, born to 10 to 20, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Decade, whatever it's called. Anyway, so I've been doing this because of the twin flame path. Like, this has really helped anchor me, help my intuition, like enhance more. I already did what all I did. I just needed to have more confidence, more of like certain aspects and grounding it and, this, that, and the other. And that's what the twin flame path is helping me do as well. So all the BS that I grew up with, I have been working on chipping away for the past few months and longer, actually. But I just didn't know that this was, because again, I'm learning all of this, I'm experiencing all of this, I'm being guided, and so I'm going to be teaching this as well. And that's pretty much kind of what I'm doing right now. If you're experiencing some of the stuff that you're hearing me say, know that you're experiencing it for reasons. Okay, so I feel much lighter. I feel brighter again, because I was getting to the point where I was getting really off myself and, like that kind of thing. It was not normal. It was not right. And I'm like, man, this reminds me so much of my childhood, and I kept thinking that. I'm like, something's wrong. And it was because they were, again, I call it paranormal tantrums, where they're trying to stay around, they're trying to cause harm, and they're going to continue to do that because they want you to either end yourself or there's other reasons, but, they're trying to stop you, period. And so it's like a toddler, paranormal tantrums. It's like a toddler acting out. They're going to say, they're trying to. Anyway, so since Twin Flame Path, like, it's been everything I've been releasing, not just past lifetime stuff, the karmic and all this, and this, that, and the other, this lifetime too, with the mediumship aspects, like I said, all these things. And so I've been working on his as well, for his properties, my properties. I just did my dad's. I did a lot of my even at my grandma's area where I grew up at till I was 3 years old. Like I said, it's just been everywhere. And so basically that's the whole point. And that's what they've been doing, is they were trying to get me to, as always, because these specific devil type entities, demons, they work together, sometimes with hellhounds and soul eaters is what we call it as well. What they do is they work together and they're trying to extinguish the soul. So basically, if I go off myself and then there goes my soul, bye-bye. So I have to fight even harder, especially because I'm on a twin flame path. So our souls are not, so, and when that's gone, it's gone. Like, you're not recreating that energy again. It's gone. That's why they're called soul eaters, or whatever they're called, soul sucker, soul eater, something like that. And so they have been fighting their hardest to get me all my life. And I'm constantly, because I'm young, growing up, not knowing what's going on, you know, I have no guidance, no help, you know, and I'm having to figure all this out by myself. Part 3. And so that's the reason why I'm also passionate about teaching people, is because I've had to do all of this by myself and slowly discover things along the way that's finally, you know, and I'm piecing everything together and just, it's so much. But anyway, yeah, so, because yesterday I noticed that was the first thing, my heart, it felt finally lifted. It felt freer. It felt, same thing with the emotion and body code sessions. Like, all of it works. It's perfect, and it uplifts it. You know, the heart walls and everything that we create and everything. Well, when it's paranormal on top of it as well, it's basically, it still works wonderfully with it, but when you got that paranormal on top of it, like, it don't matter. Like, okay, you gotta understand, I've communicated with these beings. They're so dark that basically they do not know love. They do not know empathy. They do not know, like, when I'm communicating with them, it's like, you have to imagine taking all those type of emotions out that we feel, and just imagine just being straight up dark. You're going to feel basically like hopeless, helpless, but it's not just weakening like that. It gets your mind sometimes in this state that it's just like, there is no hope, there is no help, there is nothing out there for me, there is nothing, what am I doing, why am I existing? It's basically taking advantage of when you're also in a twin flame path, like what I'm going through right now. Dark night of the soul, shadow work, and we're in that type of season right now. So this is when they amplify and when they're at their strongest, and why I was able to also work on my dad's location, my childhood home from 3 years old up, why I was able to finally tend to, I think, all of the most main ones. There might be a little bit more, and I know there is a little bit in my mobile home, in that bedroom that I'm going to probably be sleeping in. So I got to figure out some of those steps still, and I'll be doing that pretty soon if I can, because I can tell my moon cycle is fixing to start. So I'm going to have to be slowed down and stopped for at least a week or whatever. But this is amazing to finally not have them in the head nonstop. What they do, just like over there, they target my situations. You have no freedom. You have no life. You're living in this type of way. You're blah, blah, blah. And they just, and it just enhances. And then you're just like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel it too. Yeah, you know. And then it just snowballs into darker, deeper. And, but that's why it's also important to do this type of work too. Even though it's highly, highly dangerous, you have to be practiced and trained and a whole bunch of other things. This is not, you just go in all willy-nilly thinking you can just do everything and you're going to be safe. No, you're going to put others in danger too. No, you'll end up putting others in danger too. So you have to do this to where you have to be mindful that everybody's involved. And especially with this being a family thing, all of us have been being affected the same exact way. So, and it keeps the family apart. It keeps the family divided. It keeps, like I said, when I was 6 years old, before that, the family dynamic was perfect. My parents were happy. They were playful. They, everything was just so totally different, and then through the years after that, it slowly was going down, and the less playing, and then the fighting, and then it just kept getting worse and snowballing into the point of insanity. We actually wished that they would have divorced. Like, it was like that, kind of thing. Anyway, so, that's what people don't understand. They think that by watching Hollywood that, you know, paranormal stuff, the way that they affect is chairs and tables stacking on top of each other and you're going to hear creepy noises and all this kind of stuff. Like, no. It's very silent. It's in the mind. It's in the heart. It messes with everything. And so it keeps everybody divided. It keeps everybody separated. Exactly what's going on in the world right now. What is going on right now? What is it ran by? It's ran by Christianity. And this is exactly what happened. Sorry, love you, my twin flame. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what is going on and how they play on things and how they do things and how they keep things dark. Because they think that, you know, I'm going to be quiet. Anyway, so I can go on about that sometime and I will. But the thing is, I'm trying to stay focused and talk about, you know, what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to upset or ruffle feathers or anything or whatever you want to say. Scales, something, anything. Yeah. Okay. So I'm finally feeling so much better. I'm feeling like myself again. I'm finally feeling like, because again, it just stays and they don't stop. And it's just like, you know, I can breathe. I can finally be like, there's hope again. There's this, there's that, you know, because there is. And I can do the Naturally Recovering Autism program, hopefully. It does cost. If not, I'm going to have to keep trying to find the cheapest ways with herbals, holistic, what I can do, you know, the food-wise and everything as well. But there's things that we can do for that. So, but it gives me that hope again. Because when they're there, they're nonstop attacking it. No, there's not. No, there's not. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it don't stop. And it's like those cartoons, you know, angel and devil, you know. But the angels can't step in because they're just sitting there. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like, come on, man. Stop. But yeah, so I knew when I was going through that again, I was like, something's wrong. This is exactly what I grew up with. So I can breathe again. And I'm hoping that if this happens again, I need my twin flame. I need my family. I need everybody to let me know that there is something on my path. Okay, chill out. It's mediumship. Just try to breathe. Try to go through it. Whatever I got to do. And I'll be back once I figure out what type of work it is that I need to do. And what it was all that cleansing. I had to, everything from my childhood and everything. Everything. So this is the first time in my life I could breathe. It had to be done. The work had to be done. And that's what I do. My brother, he's more into like the Buddhism and, you know, that kind of thing and ayahuasca and all that kind of stuff. And so, like I said, for me, I'm not putting labels. I'm not doing anything because that's what they were tearing into as well, my spirituality and everything too, on top of the shadow work, dark night of the soul, all the stuff that I'm experiencing right now, again, with my twin flame path. And see, not only is the twin flame path breaking me down, it was also the paranormal stuff too. So I had double going on at the same time, along with the planetary alignments and this and the other. So it was too much at the same time going on, and from too many things. So now that I've lessened that load, I'm able to hopefully just remain on just the twin flame teardown. It just feels lighter. Like I still, like, even though there's a lot of things that I've been saying lately, and it's true, the things that I've been saying. The problem is that I don't want to feel those kind of ways, but I know that for me, what gets under my skin and what my trigger is being used, being manipulated, you know, things like that. And I'm not going to tell you. I will sense it and I'll already know what you're planning, scheming, and plotting. Look up Chinese Zodiac Dog. Yeah, that's me. So I sense ahead of time. And my Pisces side and all that as well. So, and the spirits are going to be like, hey, this person's trying to deceive you. They're trying to betray you. They're trying to this. They're trying to that. So I'm going to know ahead of time. Okay. That's just who I am, what I do. Thankfully, I don't have them now nagging on top of it, making that worse. You see where I'm going at with it? Like, that's why things are getting so out of hand because of all that too. But anyway, when you do any type of cleansing, removals and all that, it's going to be dark. It's going to be dangerous. And it's going to get worse. Sometimes you might not make it out alive. I'm just going to be point blank honest. That's just how this work does. Anyway, so I almost didn't make it quite so many times recently. And so It's so great feeling this breathing right now. Like I can breathe again. I can feel again, but I just don't want to go through. That's why I left from over there certain things. So I might end up just having to make one video. I guess I might do all of this on YouTube. And then maybe I don't know. I'll upload, I guess, all of them single on here. So if somebody goes back and looks at it or whatever, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, so, because I'm putting it on Instagram. That's why I'm doing it like every 3 minutes. And that's why I keep part 1, part 2. So if you're seeing this on YouTube and you're seeing me doing 1, 2 and all that, it's because it's 3 minutes on Instagram. And so I want to try to reach whoever needs to hear this kind of stuff, because this is a dangerous type of year. And so a lot of untrained people, a lot of people that don't know what's going on, that does mediumship, whether they're aware of it or not, you know, and twin flame path or whatever, you know, there's many things that I'm talking about right now. So I'm just hoping that it is helpful. But yeah, so there's reasons why I had left from over there. And it was also a lot of this paranormal factor stuff. But it's just so funny because, like I said, it's been like a year or whatever since I had worked on my mobile home and the property and everything out there. And like they were all gone with that moment, that whole session. And then I was like, that's trippy. That's weird. Because usually I would do one by one. Like it's been a process, and I've been growing and I've been learning and I've been doing the work myself, and I've been learning along with my guides and all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing this for many years now. And this is not my first rodeo. So that's why I knew, okay, something's wrong, you know, what's going on. Because you're not going to know what's going on until it happens. And then it's like, sometimes you'll get little clues and you'll know, okay, that might be from this location, it might be from this, or it might be that, you know. But it's never full on clear. But there has been times that it has been too. But it's just not always every single time. But anyway, so like right now, something was just literally touching, like kind of pulling my hair right here. Not hard or anything, but just like getting my attention. And I could tell that was more spirit. So that's probably my mom. Like it feels so much lighter around me finally again. But yeah, so this work is dangerous. People think that no, it's not, you know, that, like I said, that chairs have to stack on top of each other, creepy noises, doors slamming, you know, it is not that obvious. It is literally so subtle that when they're doing that to you, you will literally think that it is normal, that it is okay to be explosive, to feel all these emotions, because I'm Pisces Aries. So Aries, we have a short fuse. Sorry, it sucks. We have less patience. Capricorn also, I think, is another zodiac sign that has less patience too. A few other ones as well. And so sometimes I'm quick, but then I'm quick to also just chillax and all that as well. So it just really depends on what's going on and everything too. But when I'm mad, it's like I hold it in and I'll walk away or whatever. And the paranormal loves us feisty zodiacs, especially those specific kinds that I'm talking about right now. And they love feeding on that, and because they love that energy. And so they feed on that energy, like to create that anger, to create whatever type of emotion, especially with me being an energy healer and all that. My energies are intense. And so they really love feeding off of me. And so that's what they do. And like, I'd be sitting there, like, for instance, like listening to music. And like when I was a kid growing up over there, teenager or whatever, I'd be listening to music, all chilled out, dreaming. Everything's going, you know, in a positive direction, positive dreaming, you know, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, here comes all these thoughts just flooding in of, and it wasn't from me. The way you'll know, well, I'm trying to finish. They flood in and everything, and so they try to get you angry or whatever emotion they're trying to pull out, make you cry, whatever. And then you're listening, and then you start listening to music that reflects that. And then you're pulling all those emotions and everything out, and they're feeding on it. So what is going on is, can't even remember what I was saying, because I'm trying to stay on track. When I'm on that program, y'all, I'm not all over the place like this. I'm actually, the Naturally Recovering Autism one, I'm actually able to focus, and it's like really clear. It's awesome. What I remember growing up, because through the years, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. More fog, more this, that, and the other. You know, it's just been on a lot of things. Anyway. So, there's so much that I gotta say, and I'm talkative again, and I finally feel alive again. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, like, dude, like, this has been the worst that I've been going through lately. Anyway, bye-bye. I'm so glad they're gone. And like seriously. But yeah, so they would play on those emotions and everything, and then like I said, they'll feed off of it and all of that. And so, but it'll and I remember all of that. I was just like, why would I go from happy and everything to just all of a sudden, boom, and that was, like I said, before I knew that I was an energy healer, before I knew I was a medium, because people don't teach this kind of stuff. And so that's where some of them are. Like, some people are realizing, okay, they feed these beings, certain beings feed off of these energies. And so they're trying to teach this kind of stuff in their type of way. With their experiences, and that's how we all teach. We teach from our experiences and stuff, and what in our community or whatever, that we do. But anyway, so yeah, so if you notice things like that yourself, what I had to do is I had to start, and I teach my students too, when my thoughts would start trailing off to negativity, I'd pull it back and I try to do positivity. And if I couldn't do positivity, I try to do as neutral as possible. And then they try to go out and eat. And it's just going to be a continuous fight. But until you solve and do the work, it's going to be a continuous fight. And what I mean by work is by actually targeting the sources of what's creating the emotions to go and then or else, like I said, you're going to continue to fight that until you target the source. Whatever being it is, whatever methods you have to do, cleansing, removal, crossing over, whatever it is. There's steps to it, basically. And so you have to figure out what's going on, put the intent out there, figure out what's going on and all that. And like I said, in my courses, I will be clearly explaining all of this. Hopefully this is the last video, because I've been going on so much about all of this. But again, this is the time of year. It's a dangerous time of year, and I want people to be aware of what's going on. And so, and like in my situation, I explained what all happened in the previous videos on the Instagram portion. On YouTube, hopefully all these are together. I hope, because I only have 24 minutes to record, and each time I try to upload videos, it's too lengthy, and then I have to delete, and it's just getting aggravating. But anyway, so yeah, so you have to figure out the steps that's going on. But the best thing you can do in the meantime, like I said, is to try to focus and to try to get your attention, whether it's neutral. It's usually best neutral, because when you try to do positive, I've learned, and people didn't teach that really, is that when you're doing so much positive, it can get you all out of balance, and it can make things darker. So it can get you back also into what they're wanting you to do. They want you to go into a darker path. And so you're thinking, okay, I'm going to fill in the light, and I'm going to fill in the light, and I'm going to keep doing the light, and I'm going to keep doing the light. No. You're feeding them, because you think you're getting there, and then here they come in with ease, because now you're off balance, you see. So, but anyway, yeah. So when we basically beg, that's why I love you, my twin flame. That's why when we beg and we pray, and we're all like, I'm begging, and I'm sorry, forgive, and this, that, and the other. What are you doing? You know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? You're getting them to feed off of that, baby. Okay? You have to understand this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry that I'm calling you that, because you probably see me as some wacko. I don't know how you feel about me. You're aiming your Sagittarius bow in the cosmos, and so that's probably telling me, back off. I don't know. But anyway, so anyways, but point is that that's where it all started with me. I grew up Christian, forced Christian, because my parents, that's what they believed, that's what they wanted us to do. And because of also what they did previously, that I had wrote about also, I think they did a little bit of, they didn't do the dark part. I think Mom was trying to do Wiccan maybe a little bit or something, but the people they were doing it with was the wrong people. The lady was Wiccan, and her husband was Wiccan, but he was also, I think, into dark magic and all that. And so the cross burned the girl's neck, freaked my parents out, and my dad freaked out, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's what ended up happening, the strong drive with Christianity. And so that pushed for these beings to be on my path. And because before that, I don't think they were going to church at all. Like, I know that they did, and I know that my mom's mom always made her go to Catholic, because she was Catholic, my dad's Baptist side. And, well, I don't know, not all of them, I don't think. I think most of them were. Anyways, and then when I got those dolls when I was 6 years old, and like I said, everything timed up with Christianity, and that's when everything just blew up, got worse. And it's just been one thing after another, and I've been trying to get this off of our family path. It's been keeping us all separated, divided, fighting, you know, this, that, and the other. And that's why, like, I was trying to hold my tongue and everything that I've been going through lately, of things that, like, I've been saying through posts and everything. I'm just like, oh, I know I don't feel like this, but it's like they enhance the emotions, and it really feels so real, and you're really experiencing all of that, you know. And but yeah, so finally, I you know, it's going to happen again probably. There's probably going to be some sort of cleansing that I got to do, whether it's for myself, for my twin flame, for a client, whatever. It's going to get cray-cray like this. But I'm hoping that if I can teach this kind of stuff, that people can do this so I don't have to do the work anymore. I'd rather do my own if I have to, but I would rather, you know, others do this. Only emergency basis would I maybe, you know, help others or my students or whatever. But I'd rather not, because like I said, I've already lived this full life, and I literally just now, I think I have cleared at least, for sure, at least 90 to 95% of it finally off of my path. I'm just leaving some caution because there could be something that I'm not thinking about. I don't know why my nose is itchy. Sometimes it could be spirit or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to be caution and, you know, not say that it's 100% done, because each time I was like, I got it done. No, I got it done. No. And so it's just been back to back to back, you know, and that's why I'm just like, I've learned to be pretty cautious about this. Don't just jump into the gun and be so overconfident and think that everything got, no. But anyway, but I do know that a lot of it has been done. Finally, I can feel it. I can feel my life again. Like, I can actually feel my younger self again. I can feel things that I have lacked all my life, that I have lost along the way. And so it's definitely progress, and it's much better. And that's the reason why I will not go back to Christianity, because it will redo this again. It's going to be the same effect. It's going to be the same, you know, type of thing, because that's what they do. They want people to break down. They want to do the harm and all that they do, the separation. Okay, and not only that, I need to put this here because I got to do the ACV, because I woke up and I haven't done any of that. Okay, so I think, yeah, hopefully I'll remember. Anyway, let me get my head back. Okay, I can't remember exactly what I was going to say. I'm going to try to make this the last video. Is that I'm going to love and support my twin flame regardless of what path he chooses, because that's what he believes in. That's what he wants to do. I just hope that he understands that I can't fall backwards, and I can't go back and allow them to re-mess up my whole life again. Like, I had to clear all this path off from, that's the path that we did. That's what I grew up as, you know, and finally freeing myself, I should be able to move forward, be happier now, and do what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know. We'll see about that. But I do know that I will still love to learn, experience, and whatever else that I can with him. Like, because I'm pretty confident. Yeah. Yeah. I want to learn what you learn. Basically, I am curious. It's not just curiosity. It's, to me, it's a form of caring. It's a form of supporting and loving, and all that as well. And so I'm curious to learn what it is that you're passionate and everything about. And so, because I know he sees my videos too sometimes. And so hopefully we can figure something out, because if you're willing to, I mean, I'm not trying to put words, you know, in Jennifer's view only, you know, kind of thing. So I can't say your name, but I can say mine, Jennifer. I wish I could say yours. One of these days, hopefully that'll happen. But anyway, so I can't put your input in with my input. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to try to be, I am as open as possible. It's just, I can't practice it. I can't do it because it's not on my path. I mean, maybe something will happen. Who knows? Maybe something will happen, and maybe something comes of it. I don't know. But I have to get that experience. I have to get that, you know, if that day comes, if that's what happens and all of that. I don't know. We're going to have to find that out together, won't we? So just letting you know, I'm open-minded and I care about you. So much love.